Hey music junkies, Professor of Rock always here to celebrate the greatest artists and the greatest songs of all time. We invite you to join our community below by subscribing for our daily content, and you can become a patron to help us curate this great history, the history of the rock era. You know, I'm continually amazed at the creative genesis of musicians. Great musicians, how they're inspired from small moments in their daily life, and sometimes even a few seconds of an experience can be transformed into life-changing music. Steve Vai has had many of those experiences, and today he shares the innovation of creating the 1990 album Passion and Warfare, including the song Love Secrets. Here's Steve with the story.
When Passion and Warfare actually came out, there was a lot of ears on it to see what is he going to do, what is this, you know? And it was a surprise, I think, too, because it wasn't a conventional kind of an instrumental guitar record, if there even is one, but it was not genre specific.
I love the backstories, and I love how you really committed to what you wanted to do with that. You were uncompromising in your vision. You knew what you wanted. And even when Capitol, I love how, because it changed from Don Grierson to
you really did your
Joe
homework.
Smith, to Simon
you remember
Potts,
all that
right?
stuff. I'm impressed.
Oh, thank you. But you said no. For me, when I heard that album when I was a kid, 1990, right before grunge hit, when I heard that, I'd never listened to instrumental music per se.
Yeah.
But I followed you because, of course, you're the guitarist for David Lee Roth. I was a Van Halen fan in 1984.
Yeah, you're like the typical ears.
Exactly.
That were,
And so when I listened to it, I was like, where's the singing? And it like kicked open some kind of a trap door in my brain. We're like, what is this?
Nice analogy.
And it started to help me to understand what music could be, the possibilities. So you talk about it as, started out as dream sequences and color. And how did you see the music and how did that come together? Tell me about that.
Well, you know, it's interesting because when you use words like non-compromising, it almost seems as if you had to put effort into doing it a particular way. But when you're completely engrossed in something that feels totally natural to you, there's no compromising. Because compromising means that there's something else that you're fighting against, in a sense. And there was none of that. It was pure creative freedom and joy, and that's what was I felt flowing through me at the time. And again, I had no expectations. As a matter of fact, there were people saying, "What are you doing? This record, you should be doing this because this is what people know you for, and this is what you're famous at, and this is where all the big arenas and
after
hit
Skyscraper, I mean, such a huge double platinum, triple platinum album, and
and Whitesnake and all that. And sure, that was someplace in the back of my head. It was a concern, but the desire for creative freedom was just greater. That's all. It eclipsed the fear, the insecurity. Do you know what I mean? Because it was so liberating. It was so enjoyable. And people do it. Whenever you're doing something that you're really enjoying, everything is flowing, and everything, it feels natural, and things come, and you look at them and you say yes or no. There's no, it's just very easy and flowing, That's how that record came. So that kind of music that's on Passion and Warfare just was what was natural, really natural to me at the time. So it was easy.
Well, I love how you summed it up as Jimi Hendrix meets Jesus Christ at a party that Ben Hur threw
for Mel Blanc.
Yeah, I love that. That's a great description of it, because when you get to like the animal, which is kind of a lust, and then you get to answers, the joy of that, and sisters, and Love Secrets. I mean, talk about complexity. Let's talk about that one for a minute, because the baby crying and the way that it's like this deep spiritual longing. How did that come about?
Well, you had mentioned before that Passion and Warfare was based on some dream sequences. One of the things I was reading about that was very interesting to me was just becoming conscious in the dream state, having vivid dreams. And so, you know, like anything, there's books written on it, you know, and there's things. So I started to experiment certain ways of sleep patterns and certain, you know, you can even eat certain foods or something like that. And I got results, which really were just more vivid awareness in dreams, you know, and it came and went. You know, I don't really focus on that these days.
Kind of like that moment right before you're about to fall asleep, but that moment that's in there where you're still a little bit, I mean, you've described it, and I love the description.
And then sometimes what happens is, you know, dreams are foggy and weird sometimes, and there's all these analogies going on that digress into, you know, and so I was writing everything down, but I did have this several times, I've had this really profound kind of dream experience. And it always happened at the end before I woke, which is really the only time you remember a dream is when you wake up in it. But this was something different. It was this intense sound that it was, and I had read of other people experiencing something similar. So I know I'm not alone.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And the only way to explain it was, you know, picture yourself traveling through space, so to speak, whatever, at this incredible speed, and everything's just, and the sound is like thousands of instruments all out of tune, but
celestial orchestra.
It was a celestial orchestra, and it wasn't like it was loud, it was more than loud. It was everything, and it was
all
incredibly powerful. And I woke up, and I remember it was like I felt like I slammed down into the bed. And I woke up and I just was stunned. And that music had always been in there. And when I started to work on Love Secrets, that was the song that I used to try to depict the music I was hearing. It falls so far short. You know, because when you're sleeping, it's a non-physical dimension, you know, and when you're dreaming and stuff, but we're limited in the physical, you know, to a degree. So I started working on that song, and I only had really one criteria, and it was just not to think, just instinctually move. So things would just come up, and it was almost like automatic writing.
Right.
But it also contains a tremendous amount of musical understanding. Because if you listen to the chord structures and every note, it's composed in a way so that things are shifting, but it's got that rapid.
It does.
You know, so that's one of my, I mean, it's not an uncommon question that artists get. If you were going to pick one song that was really depictive of you, that's it. Love Secrets is it.
Hey, thanks for watching. Leave us a comment about Steve Vai and the Passion and Warfare album. What other Steve Vai songs should we feature on this channel? You can get Passion and Warfare on vinyl by clicking on our Amazon links below. If you like our content, please join our community by subscribing to the channel below. We'd love to have you. Also, you can become an honorary patron to help us keep the music alive. Until next time, 3 chords and the truth, my friends. Stay safe.